In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to design a sports wallpaper using Adobe Photoshop. Welcome back to the channel. My name is CJam and here we are in Adobe Photoshop, and we're just going to go ahead and go to File and then New, and then we're going to create a template that's 1080p, right? A 1080p template, right? So 1920 wide by 1080 high, and we're going to leave the resolution at 300, and we're just going to go ahead and click create. And here we are in Photoshop. Here's our blank canvas, and the first thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and drag in the images that I'm going to be using to create this wallpaper. Now, these images I just got randomly from Google. You can do the same and design with me. It took me a long time to get these images, so I have no idea where I found them, but if I'm able to find them and give you the links, I'll do that as well. So all right, here are my images popping in one after the other. It's the Golden State Warriors, obviously, the logo, and Steph Curry in all the photos, Chase Center, and this is my glyph from my Learn Share logo. And the first thing I want to do is I want to bring up the GSW logo, and I want to pick some colors from the logo. Well, the two colors, the blue and the yellow or the gold, right? Now that we have those, we can work with those as we go along. But first, let me save my project. Control and S to save on my computer, and I'm just going to name this LSPV110 GSW. What is this? Wallpaper, right? And then we're going to click save, and then okay. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to create a gradient background, right? So I want wait, let me change this blue to white just for now. I'll come back and make it blue. Let me go ahead and create a gradient, right? Let me change it to the two colors that I have, which is the yellow and the white. And for the gradient, I want it to be radial, right? I want this circle gradient, but I want the yellow and the, well, yeah, this is what I want, right? Reverse. No, I like this. So let's work with it. Let's can I increase it? Increase the scale. That's fine, right? That's fine, right? What do you guys think? Control and S to save. And then for my background, obviously I'm going to have the Chase Center in the background. Control and T for my transform options, and then let me just increase the percentage here. Bring it down to about there, and then I'll probably let me cycle through the blending modes or the layer styles, sorry, and see what gives me the best result. I like overlay. Let me go ahead and keep it at overlay at about 50%, and then let me first brush off the edges. Let's go back to normal. Let's add a layer mask by coming down here to my layer mask right here. Hit my eraser tool by pressing E, and then sizing down the tool, making sure the softness is at the hardness is at 2%, and then let me just brush away the edges. That way when I change the layer style, I'm not seeing any hard edges, right? That's fine. All right, let's go back to soft light, 50%, and then let's add another adjustment layer. Let's do hue and saturation all the way down to -100, and then let's right click and click create clipping mask to clip it to the photo of Chase Center, right? Next, I want to duplicate it. So let me just put this in a group, or let me just duplicate this, or should I group it? Yeah, let me duplicate it first, then let me flip it horizontally, edit, transform, flip horizontal, and then I can just move it over about there. Then let me select both of them and just move them over. That pink line in the middle here is telling me that it's centered. Control and S to save, and that looks good thus far, right? What do you guys think? Now let me put all of that in a group, both images, right? Let me select both images and the black and white, the hue and saturation. Let me release clipping mask, select both images, Control and G to put them in a group. Then I can right click on the hue and saturation and create clipping mask. Then let me change what I have to change is here. I have to change the blending modes here. Put the group, I have to put the group to soft light this time and the opacity to 50%. Let's do 30. That's about good, right? And let's rename this group by double click on it and let's name it Chase Center, right? So we know what the group is. Control and S to save. All right, now let me bring up back the GSW logo. Let me pick the blue from it, right? Because remember we had swapped it out earlier. And then let me just hit T for my text tool. And then let me write the number 30 because Corey wears 30. Let me release clipping mask. That's not what I want. Why is it right there? Okay, cool. 30, where is it? Oh, it's right here, but it's gold, so you can't see it. All right, let's do white. Let's make it really big. Well, even bigger than that. And here's what I want to do to this. I want to double click on it. Let the blending, the layer style up, or you could have just right clicked on it and then gone to blending options. And then I want to add a stroke, right? Of about 3 pixels is fine. I want it to be white as well. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn the fill of the layer, which is the white text, all the way down to 0. That way I'll just have this outline, right? And then I'll adjust the tracking from 100 to 0. And I'll just bring it all the way into the negative until the 0 and the 30 are like touching. See that? So let's do minus 160. See that? The 0 and the 30 are like touching and blending into each other, right? That's pretty cool if you ask me. Now let me put that in the middle. About there. Let me pause and add some guides though. Control and S to save. Let's go to View, Guides, New Guide Layout, and you know we have to work with our guides, right? Okay, so now we know where our centers are, right? Control and S to save. I may make this bigger, I think probably. Control and T for my transform options, and then I just like increase the percentage up here, right? All right, so Control and S to save out that we just did. Then let's actually bring in one of the photos of Steph. All right, so I have that one. I have, this is the one I want, right? So I'm going to go ahead and select it. Then I'm going to go to select and then subject, and then Photoshop is going to select the background for me and it can delete the background for me, right? But if you notice here, it's the selection is like taking a chunk out of his jersey. That's not what I want. So Photoshop didn't get that small portion, all right? So let me go ahead and hit L for my lasso tool. Then let me hold shift, is it? Because I want to add to the selection, right? Let me try and just add back this portion here, or I could have just let it delete it for me and then I could have just use the brush tool to adjust that. But see what I did with the the layer with the holding shift with my lasso tool, I can add back this area right here. Am I doing something wrong? Oh no, there we are. And then I want to minus this area here because, all right, cool. Is there anywhere else that needs fixing? Let's add, this is his finger guard, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, let's add to there. His hand right here needs fixing. I mean, you can go through as you're designing. It will become second nature and just add what needs to be fixed from Photoshop selection. But this is pretty good, as you can see. It just needs some minor tweaking because, you know, it's AI. It won't always be perfect, right? Oh, no. I should have minused that area. All right, cool. All right, that looks about right. Is there any chunk from his head that's cut off? I mean, it looks usable. It's usable, right? Let's not overdo it for the purposes of this tutorial. Then I'm just gonna add a mask with the selection Photoshop will remove that background for me. As you can see, it's not too bad. I'm going to select the inverse of this by hitting Ctrl Shift and I, and then I'm going to hit delete just to get rid of any excess things that are on the edge that would give me like a black outline, right? All right, so now I have my photo. I'm just going to save this by hitting Ctrl and S. Now I'm going to move the photo over into the middle, about there, right there. Not too bad, right? Ctrl and S to save. And the next thing I want to do is I just want to add some like forward slashes or backslashes behind him. You know, I love those kind of things, right? Then I want to make them black. I hit T for my type tool, obviously, to get that, to type that. And then let's do about that. Let's put it behind him. Right there is cool, right? The next thing I want to do is I want to type the words Curry. I want to type like a bunch of Currys behind it. Currys. His last name, Curry, behind him, right? So there we are, Curry. I don't want it to be that close together, so let me adjust the tracking. Let's do 20 is fine, and then let me duplicate it. Well, not duplicate, I want to let's make sure I have a bunch of the word behind him. Let me adjust the leading of all this. 12, 13 is fine. What do you guys think? The next thing I want to do is I want to do the same thing that I did to the 30, you know, that white stroke. I'm just gonna hold Alt, click on this stroke here. Wait, let me make these thumbnails bigger. I'm gonna hold Alt, click on the stroke effect here of the 30, and while I'm holding Alt, I'm just clicking and dragging it onto the curry. See that? But what I want is I want to change the stroke from white to blue, right? I'm just gonna change it from white to blue. See that? And then let's size it down to about 2 pixels or 2 points, and then let's turn the fill down. That way I'll just have the blue here. See that? How cool is that? Control and T. Then I can size it down. Then I can put it about right here, right? How cool is that? I'm really liking this so far. Control and S to save. And the next thing I want to do is I want to do some edits to this photo, right? Some quick edits, nothing too serious, right? So let's go ahead and go to our camera raw options, Control Shift and A, right? And that will give us our camera raw control pop up. And then here we have our image. What I want to do is I just want to add a little bit of exposure to it. Contrast, I want to go to saturation, make it black and white. I want to also add some like green. Go to effects, add some green, about 40. That's not too bad, right? Let's add some more contrast. Click OK and see what we have. That looks good. But wait, I didn't want to do it all black and white. My bad. What I wanted to do is I wanted to go to the color mixer, right? I wanted it to go to the color mixer, and then I want to get this zoomed in somewhere. I wanted to go to the color mixer and I wanted to take out specific colors. My apologies. I wanted to take out the red. I wanted to take out the orange of his skin. I wanted to take out the greens. Every other color that's not blue, I wanted to take it all out, right? The yellow would help me correct or get rid of all the skin. But here's what I can do. I can leave the yellow in, or I can make it completely, take it completely out and just leave the blue, right? See that? How cool is that? That is looking much, much better to me. Do I want to put back the purple so the blue looks a bit different? Or do I want to increase the saturation on the blue? Yeah, I want to increase the saturation on the blue. And all I did to go back into my camera raw filter to readjust that blue was just double click on it right here. See that? When I double clicked on it, it pops back up, right? Cool. Control and S to save. All right, let me turn on the GSW logo. Like there, size it all the way down. Let's put it in the tip of the 3 and the 30. About there is fine. I don't need it to be as big as the one on this jersey, because that's already like dominant in the image, right? I don't want it to be like overshadowing. That looks good. Oh yeah, that looks good. Control and S to save. Then let me revisit the gradient. Let me increase the scale so the white comes up a bit more. Yeah, that's fine. Control and S to save, and then I want to type his name. I want to type the curry once more, right? So, but I want to do it vertically. So I want to go hold down on my type tool or right click on it and choose the vertical type tool, right? Then I'm just going to type the word curry. All right, let's make it the blue of the GSW logo, and then let's increase or decrease the tracking rather. But first, let me make the text bigger, right? Let me Control and T and just make it bigger. Let's move it up in the layers stack. We're gonna organize these layers, I promise, right? And then let me turn off the image a little bit. I want this to be like right here. Make it a little bit bigger. Decrease the tracking some more. Oh, there is cool. Turn back the image, or turn the image back on. Sorry, I lost the word there for a second. And then let's move the curry, or the second curry, over some more. Do you think this image is too big? Control and T. Do you think this is too big? What do you think? Or is it like perfect? What do you guys think? Cool. The big curry, this curry, big curry. That sounds like a dish or something that you eat. I don't need it to be completely visible. But yeah, I don't need it to be completely visible. Control and T, and then like, yeah, it doesn't have to be like super visible, right? That's fine. What do you guys think? I want to hear from you. Let me move the chase center images in the background. Move them down a bit. Let me increase the opacity to about 50. All right, this was 30. This is 60. Look what's happening right here to the building in the background. 30%. I think 30% is fine. I think that's perfectly fine. The next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and just write his name, you know, Steph Curry, but not with the vertical text. I want to actually write it with the, where is that? Oh, it's down here. All right, so there it is. Let's move the tracking back to 0. Let's make the text black. Let's size it down to about like 4. Let's put it over here. Let's size it down to about 4. Is that 4? No, that's 5, right? That way it fits like right there, or within that space. Right? Let's duplicate that. Control and J for that Steph Curry duplicate. Let's align it left. Let's put it in the top corner. Let's write what's his position? GSW. He's a what? PG, right? Let's duplicate that. Control and G. Let's drop that in the bottom right hand corner. Let's write LSPV by CJam. Let's align that to the right. When you align it to the right, is it justified or just align to the right? Control and S to save. Let's adjust the tracking on both of these to 100. The GSWPG as well as the LSPV CJam. LSPV plus CJam, right? To keep the uniformity. Let's see what we have. Cool. Control and S to save. Looking good so far. Now I want to bring in one of the other images that I had earlier. Where is it? Let me organize this first. Let me move this other image up. The chase is there. That's fine. Let's put that in a group called the background. I just selected the chase center and the hue and saturation and held Control and G to group it. Double clicked on the group to name it background, right? Then Control and S to save. Then all of this text that I have right here, I'm just gonna, can I organize that and just keep it in a group called text? Right? That's cool, right? That keeps it more organized. What do you guys think? What I think I probably want to do next is change this, the curry with the blue outline, because there's so much blue in here. I want to probably make that black. So I'm double clicking on the stroke here, the layer style, and my nose feels weird. And it's like I have a sneeze coming, but the sneeze isn't coming. And then I'm making that black, right? Just like that. Let me actually increase the leading to 10. Oops, sorry. Alright, do I want that? Is that what I want? I think I probably have too many curries here. Yeah, that looks more like it. What do you guys think? What was I doing? Oh, I said I wanted to add another image, right? Let me go ahead. Well, you see this LSPV CJam and the GSWPG. That doesn't need to be as thick as the Stephen Curry here. Let me change that to Gotham old, Gotham medium. Let's change it to about 3 points in size. Let's change the tracking to 200. I just don't want it to like overshadow any of the other design elements by being just as thick as the text on the design, right? Control and S to save, and we're looking good. And I wanted to add another photo, right? So I have two photos here. I have this one, I have this one. Let me do the same thing, remove the background by going to select, subject. Photoshop will do its work for me. And then I'm just going to go ahead and hit the mask option here. I'm going to literally copy and paste the camera raw filter edit from this image onto this one. So remember earlier when I dragged the stroke effect from the 30 to the curry, I'm just going to go ahead and click on the camera raw filter. But before I do that, I'm holding Alt, clicking and dragging that onto the next image, right? See that? It's black and white with only the blues showing, right? Pretty cool if you ask me. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit Control and T. Then I'm going to size down this. Oops. What am I doing wrong just now? Control and T. Let me see one more time. What's happening there? Why does that look so weird? What's happening right there? Oh, I see what's happening. You see how this layer is linked to this layer with that little pin right here? This one had the pin turned off for some weird reason. All right, Control and T. Then I can size it down. Then I can size it down to about there. What do you guys think? Do I want to add something behind him, like a white rectangle or something? What do you guys think? U for my shape tool, and I selected the rectangle just so there's some separation. Let's put it behind him but in front of the other one. No stroke. I want to fill. Do I want the blue or the gold? I just wanted to like have some kind of like something that separates them. All right, let's work with that for now. Let me cycle through the blending modes of this, or the layer styles of this white shape here to see what I got. Overlay is fine. I think overlay is fine. Right, Control and T to adjust it. I just wanted something to like show that there is some difference right here. I didn't want them to necessarily blend in. Should I have made it blue? No. If it's blue, it has to remain normal. Control and S to save. All right, so I'm going to close this text group. Let me double click on the camera raw filter for this big image right here, and let me add some more grain, right? So add some more grain about there. Then I want to probably add another image. Do I want to do that? Or let me first adjust this rectangle right here. See this rectangle that I just added to separate the two images? Let me Control and T. Well, I Control and J first to duplicate it, then Control and T to get my control options or transform options. Sorry, Control J again move it over, Control T, and then I'm just picking the side, holding and dragging the side while holding Shift, and that enabled me to just like make them 2 different sizes, right? Let me, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not overthinking it. I'm definitely not overthinking it. All right. What I want to do next is I want to add another image, right? But let me select all of this, make it a bit, do I want it like that or do I want it like bigger? I don't even know, but it's fine. It's fine. Let me change one of them to the blending mode on one of them too. Color dodge, yeah, that's fine. Or I could have just made it white, whichever worked. All right, so I want to add another image, the one that I have right here, right? Let's, instead of removing the background, let me add a rectangle by hitting U for my shape tool. Let me add a rectangle right here, a very narrow rectangle. Let's turn off the stroke, add a fill. It doesn't matter what color fill you add because I'm gonna clip it to the rectangle. Right click on it, and I brought it above the rectangle in my layers. It was right here first. Turn it on, right clicked, and then click create clipping mask. Then I'm gonna click Control and T, or press Control and T, and then just size down the image, right? So I can see more of it in this rectangle, right? Pretty straightforward right there. And then I'm just gonna leave that as is, and I'm gonna duplicate the same thing I did for this small image down here. I'm gonna copy the camera raw filter here. So I'm gonna hold Alt, click on this, and drag it on the image, which is right here, right? And then I'm gonna move both these elements behind the big image, right? So let me rename some of these layers. Let's double click on the big image and name it main image of Corey. Main image of Corey. Let's name this Corey shooting image, and then let's name this one Corey dribbling. All right, cool. Let's move the dribbling and the rectangle. Let's select them both, Control and G to group them, and then let's name it Corey dribbling, and then let's move it behind the big image, right? About there. Let's make it a little bit smaller, Control and T, and then let's just like size it down. We could have sized down the rectangle itself and then adjusted the image accordingly, but I wanted to do it this way instead. All right, so there we are. I don't think I'm gonna add anything else. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I really want to hear what you think. What if I align the GSW logo on this jersey to the top of this U? What do you think about that? I mean, we're just like being as creative as we go with it. There's nothing too serious about it. Your creativity is up to you. No, I really like this. What do you guys think? Control and S to save. Let me see what else I can do to the gradient. But first, let's add the Corey dribbling on all of these. Let's select all of them, all 3 images, as well as these rectangles down here. And then let's Control and G to group them. Let's rename the group Photos of Corey. Right, cool. And then let me put my logo somewhere in there. Well, not my logo, my glyph, my symbol, my S. Where do I want to put it? Let's put it right here. But I don't want it to be like that big, so let me size it down some more. Control and T. All right, let me see. Do I want it right there, or do I want it somewhere else? Let me move out this Corey first. Where do I want my glyph? I need it closer to, where is it? That looks good so far. Let me do one more adjustment to the gradient. Do I want this or this? I know I like this for sure. no question. Let me probably adjust the gold. I know it's the GSW gold, but it just looks a little bit weird. I know it's correct, but it just looks weird. I'm sorry. Oops, sorry, I had to do white. That's what I did, right? Then let's do the reverse. Alright, I know it's not the GSW gold or yellow, but it just looks. Control and Z, well, not Control and Z, yeah, Control and Z to undo. This is the GSW gold, but it's just looking a little bit orange. And the one I just adjusted it to is looking much better to me. What do you guys think? I really like this one. I really like this one. Control and S to save. Let me know what you guys think, which of them you prefer, right? But hey, that's all that we're going to be doing today for this wallpaper, and all I have to do next to save it, to post it on social media, is go to File, save a copy, and then save it as a JPEG, PNG, or whatever format you so desire, and then click OK. So have you ever designed a sports wallpaper before? I remember back in the day when I just got Photoshop, I used to design these so often, whether it's football, cricket, basketball. I think I did basketball the least, but it was mostly cricket and football, and I used to love doing these kind of things, especially when you used to design the football signatures on those websites back in the day. It was so much fun. This is where I started in my graphic design journey, doing these sports wallpapers. So have you ever done a sports wallpaper before? What did you think about all that we just did here today? Are you going to be designing along with me? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Once again, my name is CJam, and I will see you guys in the next video.